Good morning, dear friends. I have woken up today feeling a world of difference since yesterday morning. So yesterday, for those of you that didn't see yesterday's video, maybe go check it out because it kind of explains everything. But once I picked up my medication and I actually didn't take it at my regular time. I basically thought, oh, well, if my body's kind of weaned off it, I should slowly wean back on it throughout the day. So instead of taking a very large dose at night, like I should have, I just took slightly smaller doses throughout the day until I got to 7 p.m. and then I'd had the full amount. And I've woken up and I feel like myself again. And I actually want to draw attention to the pinned comment on yesterday's video. Go have a look at it if you're someone that is watching these videos and you've been, hearing about my mental health and maybe you've had concerns about yours. Go check that out. But if you're a viewer that's here for thrifting and fun, op shopping, unboxing a parcel, I'll be doing that second up. But first up, I'm going to ask you guys to come with me to brush my teeth. And as stupid as that sounds, this is something I struggle with. And, call me gross or whatever you want, but it's a part of the issues that I have, that I've always had, that never dawned on me that it was because of mental health. It was always just like, oh, you're lazy. Like, you don't brush your teeth because you're lazy. You don't shower because you're lazy. Since my diagnosis, I've learnt a lot about myself and why I do certain things that I do and why I don't do certain things that I should do. And it's because they're things that you don't really talk to other people about because it's just your daily routine or lack of. And then when you do talk to people about it and they're like, you don't brush your teeth every day, you don't shower every day, or you don't shower once a week, or what do you mean you've been an entire month without having a shower? Yeah, I know. Like Emma Chamberlain said once in a video that she doesn't have a shower that often. I can't remember what it was because I don't watch her videos, but I just remember the drama where people were like, Emma Chamberlain is, stinky and lazy and yada yada, she's gross. And the first thing that I thought was like, yeah, I also don't shower that often. Like I have never in my entire life. And I just recently learned it's because of my one part of my OCD being contamination OCD, which is like a lot of people with contamination OCD wash their hands multiple times because they don't like things being on their skin. It's kind of the opposite for me. My body as it is, I'm like, it must remain like this. So things like toothpaste or things like having a shower and being touched by water or washing my hands, that in my head is like contamination. And I'm like, it's some external factor touching my skin, which is why I've realized now that I never had a skincare routine because I was like, I don't want things touching my face, and anyway, I never brought up these things with anyone because I was like, well, I don't want anyone to know that I didn't brush my teeth this week, like that sort of thing. But I came across this video recently. So like well after my diagnosis, I came across this video when I was researching the medication that I'm on, and they were discussing studies with mice, and they were giving mice this medication, and there were certain types of mice that they called them like the nesting group, where it was like, the mice that had the obsessive compulsive behaviors would build a nest and they would get into it and they just wouldn't leave. They wouldn't clean themselves, they wouldn't do anything. It was like they just sat in the nest, and when they gave them the medication, it took a really long time for it to work, but once it started working, they started leaving the nest, and then they started doing things like going and, cleaning themselves and like rearranging the nest because the nest was dirty, whereas before they would just sit in the dirty nest for a really long time. Anyway, I've just spent 5 minutes talking about things that if you clicked on this video for thrifting, you're like, what on earth is happening? Sorry, I've just gone off on a tangent. But the reason that the reason that I said this is because I never told anyone that I wasn't showering and that I wasn't brushing my teeth, all that sort of thing, because I was like, oh, I don't want people to judge me. But since I've been on my medication now, I'm not, like, I will just happily wash my hands. Like, okay, I'm sorry, I know, I'm a tangent, but you know what? I feel like the only people that watch these videos are the people that, like, understand what's going on. Like, that's the whole point of this channel. The whole point of this channel is you're quite literally, like, my dear friends. That's why I say good morning, dear friends, because I assume the people watching these videos are people that have watched me for a long time. I've seen people in the comments saying, I've watched you for 4 years, you know, I've never seen this side of you, all that sort of thing. So because I see you as my dear friends, I feel comfortable talking to you about this sort of stuff. And for people that have just randomly stumbled across this channel, please feel free to view Pretty Pastel, please, because that's where none of this gets discussed. It's just clothing hauls and fun. But anyway, what was I saying? I was saying, there was a point to this. I said I wasn't showering and I didn't want people to judge me, and then I started my medication and I realised, I'm washing my hands. So I would never do the dishes, and when we were living with Sam, it was Dan and Sam and I had not been diagnosed with anything, and I never did the dishes, and poor Sam and Dan were always like, oh, Alex is so lazy, like she never does the dishes. And I would also tell myself, yeah, I'm really lazy because I don't do the dishes. But when I started the medication, I literally realized why it was that I wasn't doing this. And it's because I didn't like to get my hands wet. So like washing the dishes would get my hands wet. And I was like, I don't want to get my hands wet. I don't want to shower. I don't want to get my hands wet. Which is so weird because when I was a child, I was a competitive swimmer, like a state level competitive swimmer. But OCD can get worse as you get older, and it's impacted by things like stress. And my life, obviously now as a 29-year-old, is completely different to what it was when I was a 9-year-old. The OCD, there were small signs of it when I was a kid, you know, like Dad would change the volume on the radio. Sorry, not Dad. My dad and I am my father's daughter. Let me put it that way. My mum would change the volume on the radio and it would be like 23. And I'd be like, can you make it 24? And they're like, okay. And then if I was in the car with someone else and they just, you know, some people just reach for the volume and they just go, I want this louder, and they just adjust it. And I'm sitting in the back seat and I'm like, it's on 17. And like this. And then I'm like, I want to say something. And I just sit for the whole car ride and people are talking and we're chatting and I'm like, yep, And, you know, I'm being like, yeah, everything's fine, happy. But all I can think of the whole car ride is the number. It's not an even number, it's 17. Could you at least make it 18? Like, it doesn't have to be 24, but could you please make it 18? But I don't want to say anything because I don't want them to be like, what? And then you get to the point where sometimes the TV you're watching or the radio that you're listening to, if you put it on 18, it's too loud. If you put it on 17, it's just right. If you put it on 16, it's not loud enough, but it can't be on 17. So you have to choose between like, I can't hear this or it's too loud. Anyway, I was talking about washing hands. So when I got on my OCD medication and I was on a low dose, I started, as I was slowly increasing my dose, I started noticing things I was doing or things I wasn't doing. Things started changing. And look, you know what, I will make a dedicated video about this because this is almost 10 minutes at this point, but I would always say to myself, well, you can only wash your hands like once kind of thing. So if you have to do the dishes, well, go outside first and do some gardening so you get dirt under your fingernails and like do this and that and that and that so that your hands are actually dirty, like visibly dirty, and then go to the sink, turn on the water, get it to the right temperature, get used to the feeling of the water on my hands, and then then I could clean under my fingernails while at the same, then I would do the dishes, and then that was okay. And even if I have a dishwasher, I like to do the dishes by hand, because stacking a dishwasher is my personal nightmare, because I would have to go large plates all in a row, then smaller plates, and then there's an order for the dishwasher in my head. And if those things aren't dirty, like let's say there's one small plate and 3 large plates and 1 plastic glass and like 3 wine glasses, it's like my personal hell, because if I have to put that in a dishwasher and just stand back and look at it, I'm like, this is not, no. Like there's no logical reason why this is a problem, but I would go, no, I've got my hands wet already, I'm doing the dishes right now, I'm going to do them, wash them by hand and put them away. So that led to behaviors like, or people saying, you know, Alex is so lazy, she never does the dishes, things like that. So the whole point of this 11-minute tangent is that I've always struggled with brushing my teeth, because I just hate things that aren't part of me, or things that make me uncomfortable. Food, fine. Food can go in my mouth, no problem. I love food. Toothpaste makes my mouth kind of burn. So my whole life it's been like, well, no, I don't want that. And I push it to the point where it's like, oh, I can actually like see, I can see that my teeth are dirty, so I need to brush it. But it's always been like, oh, well, you know, Dan, do I smell? You know, or not even Dan, just like, you know, guys, do I smell? Like, no, why? No reason. And then it's not until I think to myself, hey, it's been like, hey, my hair is greasy. I can see my hair is greasy. I need to have a shower. I've got no other option. Hey, I can see that my teeth are dirty. I need to brush them. There's no other option. I've never had this like, well, hey, doing this thing is good. It's a good habit to have personal hygiene. It's just not existed in my life. And look, I know in saying this out loud, there might be hundreds of people that start talking all over the internet and saying I'm disgusting or whatever, but you know what? Fuck you. You don't understand. Like actually, you don't understand. I don't choose to be like this, but the medication helps. It really, really helps. And I just wanted to put this out there because I never talked to anyone about this, and no one ever talked to me about this, and I went years and years and years unmedicated, and now that I take medication, I have the ability to comfortably go brush my teeth, go wash my hair, go have a shower. The shower thing, I'm still working on. I used to, when I was doing my hair dye series, it sounds so stupid, but part of the reason that I dyed my hair so many times is because every time I would colour my hair, I would need to wash out the colour. So I would have to get in the shower to wash it out. So I was showering regularly when I was doing hair dye things. And also Archie, before Archie became really, really aggressive, Archie was a reason for me to shower because I could see that Archie needed a shower. So I was like, oh, Archie needs a shower. I'll get in the shower with Archie. And since Archie's been going through this phase and we've had to not touch him, I haven't been giving him showers. But I just discovered last week that Dumpling loves having showers. Dumpling's my new pigeon, if anyone doesn't know. So now Dumpling has been a good reason for me to have a shower. Look, there is no explanation. It's mental health. What can I tell you? Anyway, I thought before I unbox today's parcel, I would record and I would go do some things, go brush my teeth. And maybe if you realize that you haven't brushed your teeth in a couple of days, just come with me if you're at home. If you're not at home, just remember Alex said, hey friend, it's all right that you haven't brushed your teeth, but let's do it together. So I'm gonna go now. This is the place that we've been staying in the past 2 days. It's really cute. Don't mind the noise. That's the clothes being washed. My angel of a husband washes my clothes. I don't wash my clothes. When my clothes get dirty, I put them in a pile, and then I suppose then this is the ADHD part where it's like, I don't see it. I pretend I do not see it. No, I actually see it, but I just don't action anything. I don't wash my clothes. My husband, our entire relationship, just sees if my clothes need washing and he just washes them. I've literally never even had to ask him. He's just done it. It's amazing. And it's not out of lack of me not wanting to, because I look at a dirty pile of clothes and I think I need to wash those. Yup. That's the plan. And my brain's like, oh yes, the plan. The plan that involves the doing. Yes, the doing. Anyway, let's brush our teeth. I'm going to try to talk while I'm brushing my teeth so that you're not just sitting there watching me brush my teeth. Oh, I know, because I never brush my teeth for long enough. So, to make sure that I get what time is it now? I'm at 15 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay, I'm going to brush my teeth for a minute. I'm going to take you on a tour. Here's the room Dan and I stayed in. It's just a bed with a painting. Then there was a weird room. No one wanted to sleep in there because it was creepy. And then Lucy and Max's room is that one. It's identical to ours. And staircase. Oh, sorry, I can't talk anymore. There's too much froth in there.
Hello. No. I just finished watching a video. Didn't even use all the footage I filmed. Are they deep secrets? Ah. Tired. Was that a nice thing shot? They were funny too.
Sorry. Sorry, it started burning. So this is where we're staying, or where we have been staying. We're checking out today. It's got a vaulted ceiling, and it's really adorable. The view out there is of blossoms, and there's a little couch, and a TV, and husband, and balls, and antiques, and there's a balcony. Now, can you entertain? Where's my parcels?
I'd have to get changed and go to the car to get it.
Please. It's the hard knock life for us. It's the hard knock life for us. Sorry. I look like Annie. I've been doing the curly girl method, and this is what my hair looks like now with no product in it. I do naturally have curly hair. It was just all those years of using the wrong products weighed it down and it wasn't curly. So now when I wash my hair and I just let it dry, that's how it dries. Anyway, I just asked Dan, where's the parcel? It probably sounded like saying, yep, I asked him where the parcel is for today, and he said it's in the car. So I can see my camera's on low battery. I literally just said my camera's on low battery and then it died. It was like I pointed at it and it heard me say that. It was like, ah, yes, goodbye. Right, so Dan said that today's parcel is in the car. So come with me and we'll go get it. I also have to put on deodorant. Remind me, don't let me leave without putting on deodorant. We have a little hire car, and you can't really get around Tasmania if you don't have a car, because all the cool things to do, you would either have to pay a lot of money for a tour to do them, at which point you may as well just have rented a car and done it yourself, because tours always cost more. But with that being said, I am going on a bird watching tour for 2 days because I don't know where the birds are. Like, I know where the wineries are and the cheese and the restaurants. I can Google that, but I can't Google where the fairy wrens live. So anyway, here's a parcel for today. And it's clothing by the feel of it. I do actually have some parcels that were hard parcels, like books or something, but I made sure that I didn't bring any of those. But we'll start getting into some things other than clothing once I get home. There's my jeans. Dan's washed them twice now because they got really, really muddy when I was chasing peacocks for photos. Okay, so let's set you guys up. And today's another one of those days where I'm not going to edit the video. I'm just going to upload it. I'm just going to put the SD card in the camera and upload it. And I welcome any criticism at my lack of personal hygiene. Come for me. I fucking dare you. Do it. I don't care. Because there's someone watching this video right now. There's multiple people watching this video right now that do the same thing. And they've never talked about it to anyone because they were scared of getting judged. So you know what? Judge me. That's fine. You can judge me. And then those people can watch this video and realize, hey, I do that too. Maybe I don't do it out of laziness. Maybe there's something more there. So judge away, motherfuckers. And for those of you that aren't judging, even if you don't do these things yourself, for those of you that empathize and understand, thank you. We need more people like you in the world because that's the reason that mental health is so bad. Because people judge and people don't accept. And when people understand that there can be more to things than just laziness, when people are understanding and empathetic of that, more people would be willing to come forward and speak openly about their mental health. More people would get diagnosed. More people would be able to live their life to the fullest. Someone left a comment on one of my earlier videos saying, congratulations on your diagnosis. I didn't get diagnosed for 40 years. I lived a life of hell for 40 years. And then I got diagnosed and I got medication. And now in my 40s, I'm just starting to live. So I'm 29. I only started the OCD medication this year because originally they were just treating me for ADD. They knew I had OCD, but they were like, oh, that's a hard one to treat. Let's just treat the ADD first. But yeah, now, it's only just now that I can start working towards these things that are easy for other people. So like I said, I'm doing the brushing the teeth. I'm still working on the showering thing, I really am. My husband, Daniel, I'm gonna cry. Dan and I have been together for 9 years, I think. And all the way through our relationship, years before my diagnosis, when we started staying in the same house together for multiple nights in a row, Dan would be like, when did you last have a shower? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, do I smell? And he's like, no, you don't, but like, I haven't seen you have a shower. And I was like, yeah, I hate showering. And he's like, oh, okay, well, come have fun with me. And the whole time we've been together, Dan will literally pick me up out of bed and take me to the shower, and he will wash my hair for me. And like, he has never judged me. He's never asked. He's never insulted me or called me lazy. He's just been like, okay, well, Alex doesn't like showering. I'll just take her with me. And if Dan's like, hey, let's go have a shower, I'm like, all right, I'll do that. That's okay. But I'm still working on the instigating it myself thing. But since I've been on the medication, I've written them down in my diary. There's been several occasions where I've been lying in bed and I've been like, I'm gonna have a shower. And then the thoughts have been like, but your hair isn't dirty. You don't smell. You haven't been outside the house. Your feet aren't dirty. Like you don't need to have a shower. And then I'm like, shut up. I just want one. There have been occasions. So I know it's something that I can work on and I can get into a new routine. But yeah, anyway, the whole point of this was fuck you if you're judging. Go away. I don't want you on this channel. Oh my God. Okay. Oh, this is exciting. Okay, so I've got this. This came from the Fairfield salvos, which I think Fairfield is either... There is a Fairfield in New South Wales, but I think this has come from the Fairfield in Victoria. This is a piece by one of my favourite designers, if not my absolute favourite designer brand, Scanlan Theodore, an Australian designer. Look at this, Scanlan Theodore. Their pieces are expensive, and when you eventually see this video that I'll post where my husband picked my outfits for my vacation, he brought one of my Scanlan Theodore cardigans with me, and when it was new, it was like $1,200, and I got it off the Facebook Marketplace. I think I paid $200 for it. I've always bought my Scanlan stuff secondhand until anyone that watched my buying secondhand luxury goods from Japan, from the website from Japan. I was wearing this blue dress that it buttoned up all the way up to here, and that was the first thing I bought new from Scanlan. I've paid full price for it because it was just the most incredible dress ever. But the fabrics that they use are so luscious and incredible. But the funny thing is that a lot of people down in Melbourne, like Real Housewives of Australia kind of people, they buy Scanlan just for everyday wear, and then they donate it. And it just, the Salvo's website, every time they even have like a selection tool where you can select and filter what brands that you want to see. Scanlan is an option, and you can filter and you can see all the Scanlan pieces. And this is the sort of thing where if you see like TV presenters, weather reporters, things like that, wearing like a nice sort of nice plain or interesting looking clothing, then probably wearing Scanlan, because it's just made really well, structured really well, lasts forever. It's not the sort of piece that's going to, you know, like break or fray or lose its shape over time. Anyway, heaps of it ends up on salvos, not because it's bad clothing, but just because there are wealthy people that just donate these things, because paying $400 for a shirt for them, it doesn't matter, you know, so they'll just donate it. So this top is by Scanlan. I have no idea how much this would have originally cost because I don't know when it's from, but usually... Sorry, my memory card ran out. I just went back and deleted a couple of things. I was talking about how much this top might have cost. So if I go on the Scanlan website right now, we can have a look at what tops they're currently selling for. I would just categorize this as a classic black top. So if I just go Scanlan, I can't type, Scanlan Theodore tops, Scanlan Theodore tops. And here we go, we can see tops on Scanlan Theodore, and we've got poor internet, that's what we've got. Ah yes, nothing. So a shirt, just like a classic button-up shirt, is $220, and then here's like their little t-shirts. Well, their t-shirts are only $90, so that's okay. But I know things are normally a lot more expensive than that. There's 162 products here, like this. That's a silk tie front shirt, $400. We've got, yeah, they're all $400. Classic shirt, $400. What about like what I'm wearing? With a ruffle shirt, $220. Ruffle blouse, $400. Let's see. Crepe knit one shoulder top, $200. Yeah, typically their tops like $200 to $400. I have seen some for $600. This tag, this is 55% linen and 45% cotton. So Scanlan always uses really nice fabric. So linen and cotton, this is breathable, and it's from, I might even be able to tell you what year it's from, because sometimes the serial numbers that they put on the tags, S17. This is from spring, summer 2017. So there you go. I got this for, where's my little invoice? $30. So spring summer 2017, this would probably have been like a $300. It would have, I bet this would have been called like black asymmetric cut long sleeve shirt or something. And obviously I have my bra on there, but this is what I'm working my way towards with my wardrobe. I'm getting rid of, not getting rid of, but giving away to my friends and family first, and then donating. Although I haven't donated much yet, I normally keep my donations and I wait in the hopes that I can see a group of my friends and then say like, you guys have a look at this stuff first before I take it anywhere. But I'm moving pieces out of my wardrobe that are from Shein or like, you know, cheaper kind of pieces that I know if I donate that or give it to someone, like they'll get use out of it. And I'm trying to collect staple pieces that are interesting, like a little bit interesting, and that are vintage, or they have like a designer label and they're made of really nice materials. So like, yeah, you could probably get a top like this off Shein for $4, and I'm not saying don't do that, because whatever your financial situation is, I'm not going to judge you for buying from anywhere in particular. But if you got one for $4 off Shein, it's probably going to be made of like polyester, maybe like a fabric that's not breathable. You get hot and sweaty in it kind of thing, and maybe, you know, this is what people say that always gets on my nerve. People are like, oh, you'll buy something from Shein and then it'll fall apart within a few days and then it'll go to landfill. I have pieces in my wardrobe from Shein that I've worn for like, I kid you not, like 8 years. I don't know what people are doing to make their clothes fall apart. Like, I understand if you put something on and as you're putting your arm in it, like it splits open. That's terrible. But also, like, sew it back together. Don't put it in landfill. I've never thrown clothing in the bin. Sorry, anyway, so if it's made of cheaper material and then maybe its construction isn't made so well and it'll maybe tear at the seams after several wears, or look, I can't even think of any examples because I've never had any of my clothing be so trashed that it needs to go to landfill. But I've donated things that are in great condition, and when I worked as a barista and I had to wear all black, I would always go to a secondhand store and just get a black top for $1 or like $3 or something. And yeah, so what, it's from Target or it's from Shein or, you know, Cotton On or like a cheap store. I wear it to work. It gets trashed at work. So that's when, like, cheap clothes, it's great. You can, if you want to wear a certain style or you need a certain color or something, but you don't want to spend too much money, you can go on Shein. But if you're thinking, hey, like I just really want a black top that's like, when I'm going out somewhere and I want to wear a black top and I know I'm going to pair it with a pink skirt, or I could pair it with white jeans, or I could pair it with, you know, black leggings or whatever. If you just want a nice black top and you can afford to do so, save up and maybe buy an interesting one from a brand, or keep an eye out for secondhand, because secondhand luxury clothing does come up. Keep an eye out and then get something like this, because now when I go back home, maybe if I've got like a black long sleeve top from Romwe or something that I tend not to wear very often because I don't like the fabric, I can give that to a friend, or I can pop it in my donate pile, and now I've got this, and it's like, this is my black top. And then instead of being like, oh, well, I need a black top that's, you know, got sleeves here, and I also need one that's got sleeves there, and I also need one that's cropped, and I'm trying to move away from that. I'm trying to just be like, look, just have the one thing. Like, for example, I bought these designer leather pants, and I have a lot of fake leather pants from videos. I've got them from places like White Fox and Princess Polly, and they've sent them to me for free. And they look like leather pants, but they're fake leather. And, the pants I got are vegan leather, but anyway, they're made really well. And they're a really cool design. I wore them at Fashion Week. And I took out all of my other fake leather pants that were from White Fox and Princess Polly and Shein and all of that, and I folded them up nicely, and they're in my pants donate box. And now I'm like, look, if I want to wear cool black leather pants, I have the one cool pair of black leather pants. I don't need, you know, those ones that are like, they've got a zip here and they're straight legged, and those ones have slightly more boxy legs and they're a bit more high-waisted, and those ones are super high-waisted and they're tight. I'm just like, look, I'll just have one pair. So that whole tangent is talking about like, get your staples. People talk about like capsule wardrobes and stuff, and that's another thing. I'm really interested in culling down my wardrobe and having like a capsule wardrobe. So by the end of this 100 days, or not at the end of the 100 days, I think at the end of every week, I'm gonna look back on the clothes that I unboxed that week, and then I'm gonna really think hard about, do I actually need this? And if I don't need it, I will probably do like a Depop drop here and there and make it available for you guys, because I would rather you guys have it than it sits in my wardrobe for a long time. And again, this is something that, sorry, let's go back to mental health. I'm now that person. I have a lot of friends in real life with mental health diagnoses, and years back I remember complaining and being like, oh, every time we hang out with her, all she does is say like, oh, because of my ADHD or because of my depression. And I used to be like, that's all she ever talks about. But now I'm doing that, and I understand now why people do that, because you feel the need to justify, because people don't realize that you're not doing it out of a desire to do it. You can't help but do it. So that's why people bring up and they're like, oh, well, because I have OCD, I do this, that, and the other. Because otherwise, if they just say, yeah, I don't shower or something, or I bought 10 of that thing, you're not telling them, well, I had to buy all 10 shades of lipstick because my OCD told me that I wasn't allowed to buy one, I had to buy all of them. Because if you just buy one, the collection's not complete. So you must buy all of them, even though you don't wear all of them. But you buy all of them because then you can rest peacefully knowing that you have the collection. And then you end up hoarding things that you don't need. And it was like that for me with clothing. I would get things and then I would have this thought of like, well, I can't get rid of it, I can't donate that, and I can't give it away because it completes the set. Or when it's lined up in my wardrobe, I need a certain color gradient and it fills that gap and it makes that spot in my wardrobe complete. Or like, it's really hard to explain. But anyway, since my medication, I've just suddenly started thinking about clothing completely differently. It's so weird how I think about clothing now. So yeah, anyway, today's top, a designer top by Scanlon Theodore. And I don't know what we're doing today. All the daily activities that I'm not vlogging on this channel will end up in videos on my main channel, so you guys will get to see eventually, but I'm not sure what we're doing. But I do know what we're doing tonight. And Dan and I we're branching off from Lucy and Max, and this is where our the couple trip ends, and then now it's Dan and my choose your own adventure. So we're going bird watching, and Lucy and Max are going to do cultural things, like they're going to go to galleries and museums, and you know they've got a whole bunch of stuff planned. We're going to go spend a couple of nights on an island bird watching, and I can't think of anything in the world that could make me happier than being on a secluded island with my husband and just taking pictures of birds, because for me birds are pure serotonin. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye! Love you, bye! You didn't remind me to put on deodorant. Hang on, where is it? I use Dan's deodorant because I don't buy it for myself. I don't know where it is. I bet he's packed it in his bag. Damn it. I was gonna say never mind, but no. Dan? Where's the deodorant? In the bathroom? What? In your bag. Where's your bag? Okay, hang on. I'm recording this to keep myself accountable and make sure I put on deodorant. He said in the side pocket of his bag. Let's see. Hang on. Listen to that noisy washing machine. Okay. Bye.